We're here at Choose Aloha. I'm Auntie Dawn O'Brien.
Aloha champions, I'm Uncle Tony Silva of the Brothers. I just inhaled a little bit of helium and I sound like Mickey Mouse, but it's all good. And
Together we're Choose Aloha champions with you.
My heart has compassion. I gotta say, I so enjoyed compassion. It's the essence of Hawaii. Exactly what aloha is all about. Like, you ever notice how we do it naturally here in the islands?
Like what?
You know, when someone passes away, we take food to the house. No matter if tons of other people already took food over, good. Now you have more food for the next day.
True.
Or when we see a kupuna struggling in the store or crossing the street.
On the bus.
A lot of locals in Hawaii, we jump to help and say, Auntie, you okay? Tata, you need some help over there? I got this.
So true.
Right? It's part of our
Still
culture.
so much aloha spirit in the state of Hawaii. It's what makes us truly unique and special.
As brightly as our rainbows shine in Hawaii's heaven, so does our aloha spirit shine in Hawaii's hearts. But to be honest, there's a lot of times we fail each other.
Oh.
Bullying, fighting, or simply not sticking up for one another.
Our lesson today is entitled Just Like Me. And today we're going to focus in on compassion for people we do not like.
Here comes an eye-opening video called The Importance of Kindness. See if you relate to either of these students at their high school.
I'd say, as a goal in life, you could do worse than try to be kinder. In 7th grade, this new kid joined our class. In the interest of confidentiality, her name will be Ellen. Ellen was small, shy. She wore these blue cat's eye glasses that at the time only old ladies wore. When nervous, which was pretty much always, she had a habit of taking a strand of hair into her mouth and chewing on it. So she came to our school and our neighborhood and was mostly ignored, occasionally teased. Your hair tastes good? That sort of thing. I could see this hurt her. I still remember the way she'd look after such an insult. Eyes cast down, a little gut kicked, as if, having just been reminded of her place in things, she was trying as much as possible to disappear. After a while, she'd drift away, hair strands still in her mouth. Sometimes I'd see her hanging around alone in her front yard as if afraid to leave it. And then she moved. That was it. One day she was there, next day she wasn't. End of story. Now, why do I regret that? Why, 42 years later, am I still thinking about it? Relative to most of the other kids, I was actually pretty nice to her. I never said an unkind word to her. In fact, I sometimes even mildly defended her. But still, it bothers me. What I regret most in my life are failures of kindness. Those moments when another human being was there in front of me, suffering, and I responded sensibly, reservedly, mildly. Or to look at it from the other end of the telescope, who in your life do you remember most fondly, with the most undeniable feelings of warmth? Those who were kindest to you, I bet. But kindness, it turns out, is hard. It starts out all rainbows and puppy dogs and expands to include, well, everything.
Wow. What did you think?
Very interesting. Especially the part when he said failure of kindness.
Ouch, right?
Ooh,
that kind of hit
good.
hard.
Yeah.
Because same. That video made me think about when I was in the 2nd grade, all the way back when, I didn't stick up for 3 siblings from a poor family who got bullied a lot.
Oh.
I was really nice to them, sure, but when nobody was looking and nobody saw what I was doing. And that's actually one of the biggest regrets I have to this day, this minute. Because a failure of kindness isn't just failing a test or a class, it's failing a friend or a human being. You know, I moved shortly after that, and I promised myself I'd never do that again.
You know, part of growing up here in the islands is learning from our past and the fact that it happened to you when you're fairly young. Hopefully you've learned as we get older. Lesson learned. And you know what? Thanks so much for sharing.
Thanks, pal.
Yeah. A failure of kindness is when we see someone suffering and don't do much to help. On the opposite side, compassion in action. It moves to alleviate suffering as best we can. Hey, before we go any further, I think we need a mindful minute.
I think that'd be great. Thanks, pal.
So let's find a comfortable position to sit or stand. We know the drill. This is your moment to bring everything into perspective. I'm going to ask you again to place one hand on your heart, one hand on your tummy. And remember, we're going to inhale for 4 seconds and exhale. I want you to close your eyes, or if you'd like, you can focus in on the screen and pay attention to us during this time. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Keep going.
As Uncle Tony continues to breathe with you, let's set our intention for our hearts during this time. I'll do it for us. Here it is. May my heart be open to show compassion for myself and others. I'll do that one more time for all of us. May my heart be open, may my heart be open to show compassion to myself, and others, Thank you.
Inhale, 2 more deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Focus your attention on something special about you. And exhale. Great job.
Thank you, Uncle Tony. I feel so much stronger and
I feel better as well.
Here's a quote to start off this lesson together, and it's going to come up on your screen. Realizing that the other person is also just like me
That's good.
is the basis on which you can develop compassion, not only towards those around you, but also towards your enemy. Normally, when we think about our enemy, we think about harming or hurting them. Instead, try to remember that the enemy is also a human being, just like me.
Just like me. Wow. Sometimes the worst part of war is when soldiers realize the enemy is just like them. Like at Christmas time, sometimes they all stop to celebrate with their own food and customs. This is well documented. There are times when, in the spirit of Christmas, enemies will even share their food across the enemy lines.
Wow.
That's right. But sadly, back to war the very next day to kill one another.
Wow. And they find out they're just like each other.
Yes.
Okay, back to that question we gave you a few minutes ago. What does that quote mean to you? How might it apply to your life if you realize your enemy is just like yourself? Please write that in your Choose Aloha journal or in the class discussion later.
Now, I know for a lot of kids out there, you're thinking about this. Yeah, but I hate my enemy. I would never want to think like them or what's going on in their heads. This is a hard task.
It is.
But remember, they're just like you in so many different ways. Yeah?
Seriously and truly.
Their customs might be different. You might come from different ethnic backgrounds. But at some point in time, there are a lot of things they do just like you.
So good.
Here's a hint. Compassion is understanding problems or suffering and moving to solve it or stop it. Simple.
And I love what you just shared in light of what we see in the racial divide in our country and a lot of the political divide. If we remember that other person is just like us.
Yeah.
Empathy is part of that key to unlocking the doors and open up our relationships with each other, because you know that the other person is going through something just like yourself.
Good. You can't do it without that. How can I possibly want to help you if I don't understand the suffering that you're going through, right?
So good. Like, when we started the lesson and I shared that major regret I had about bullying, and you noticed I was kind of down on myself, and you immediately moved to solve it and to take us into a mindful moment. Thanks, pal.
And you know what? This mindful moment thing, I know kids might joke about it, but you can do this at any time.
Absolutely.
So you might be saying to yourself, so what, now what?
So what, now what?
Let's make it real right now. First, this is very important, take a moment to think to yourself, who is someone who has hurt or angered you? Who is someone who has hurt or angered
Someone
you?
you may not like.
Yeah. Or someone you simply have negative feelings towards.
By the way, you're not going to be sharing this with the class. This is just between you and you. In fact, you might use it in your journal, or you might just keep it to yourself. So once you have the person in mind, write the following phrases. We're going to be giving them to you in your classroom discussion thread or in your Choose Love journal.
Yeah. Just like me, this person is seeking happiness.
Wow. Just like me, this person is trying to avoid suffering.
Now we're giving you examples that you could write into your journal. Just like me, this person has sadness or loneliness.
Just like me, this person is seeking to fill needs, their own needs.
How about this? Just like me, this person is learning about life.
Wow.
Yeah. Learning about life.
That
Sometimes
hit
life
hard.
takes time. Right?
That hit hard. Now, you can write any more reflections or thoughts you have about the experience in your thread or in your Choose Aloha journal.
Now, don't get too silly or don't get too crazy about just like me. This guy like scrap with me.
No.
Calm down. Calm down. He looking at me. He looking at me.
Slow
like
your
that.
roll, pump your brakes.
Pump your brakes. Pump.
Bring it on back, just like
Try
me.
to understand this person better by looking at them through the just like me lens, but you don't have to overdo it. This is what I'm trying to say.
Some serious business, and you could do a big victory for yourself. Hey, here's a mind blower question. Ready? What are other ways that you and the person are connected that you may not have considered?
Oh. You know what? You two scrappers, maybe you guys can go boxing for the same boxing club, right?
Ooh,
And
or
work as a
MMA club.
team, or MMA. We have some of the
Raja.
greatest MMA fighters in the world.
Chuka, chuka, chuka. West
Yes,
Side,
West
Big
Side,
Island.
East
We
Side.
choke champions over here.
We're still waiting for a champion from the east side.
Don't rub it in.
We can get a champion from the north side.
Bro, watch it, watch it. Good thing we're
Huh?
talking about compassion
We can
right
get
now.
one champion from the Waikiki south side.
Central.
It can't.
All up in the house, Central.
It can't be done. It can't be done. Last part. Let's reel it in. Walk a mile in their shoes. Take out a piece of paper and draw a foot. Or, you know, if your foot is on a Hauna site, then you could do like us and have it printed up by one of your teachers.
It
right?
is in the curriculum.
It's in the curriculum.
So if you don't want to take your shoes off because you're looking all good.
Oh, miss, I gotta
and
draw
your
my foot on this paper.
boots with the fur. You don't want to take it off. Just
Oh,
leave it.
miss, this paper not big enough. I get size 16 feet. Just go ahead and print
Hey, don't
one
look
out.
at my feet, Rob.
Next, on the foot, write out 5 things your person may think or feel. Go ahead and fill it out.
And here's the drop the mic question. Write a few ways, at least 2 or 3, that you could show compassion in action to that person, your enemy, the person you don't like.
Boom, right there. Superhero in for the superhero win.
Ooh. I bet this helps all of us to have a better compassion for others, to have empathy for others and ourselves, and even forgiveness
Yes.
for people who have hurt us or whom we do not like. More power to you.
More power to you. 3, 2, 1. My heart has compassion. Mahalo, everybody. I'm Tony Silva of the Brothers. And hey, if you need a little lightness or LOL, I'm here for you, free on Instagram at the Brothers.
Yep, we're here for you. I'm Auntie Dawn O'Brien, and until next time,
Keep choosing aloha, 'cause aloha always wins.
Aloha.
Boomerang shaka.